Hi guys, welcome to d.weserk Makes. I'm going to convert this into this, and it's going to hold my battery pack and fridge. It's light, easy to remove, and I didn't have to drill any holes into the tub liners to secure it, and it cost me pretty much nothing. This is my prototype cyborg stand for my battery pack I made out of scrap off-cut materials. I'm going to improve the design and strengthen it and make it look more pleasing to the eye. The idea is to bolt it onto here, my fridge stand I made earlier. The frame is made from an old sign I salvaged, which happened to be box aluminium. It came with right angle bracing, which I reused in the corners after I cut the frame to the size I wanted. And I then screwed on some scrap timber ply that I had lying around. So let's start making this battery stand. So this is my alloy edging. It's about 25 by 25 by approximately 1.7 mil thick. I got this from an old blackboard someone was throwing out. It's got some screw holes in it, but you know, it's not perfect. It's not going to bother me though. I'm going to start with measuring the base frame, which will be a bit longer than the length and width of my battery pack. So now I'm measuring the legs. I made a mistake here. I should have made two the same length that sit on the plywood instead of just one, because as you see later I had to move the battery stand along further to accommodate my mounting brackets. Just measuring the height of where my base is going to sit, so I want to make sure I can see my digital readout over the top of the fridge. Starting with my first corner, just marking out my holes. And as you see, I've overlapped the edging. And I'm going to put 2 pop rivets in each corner. I'm just using a cheap pop rivet gun here, so it's giving me a bit of a workout. What a catch! Okay, it seems a lot stronger now than the prototype. I've just got to cut the wood for the base now. So I'm just using some old wood from some shelving that I had, that I got from Bunnings. It's pretty solid, so we'll use that for the base. So I had to cut it to give it a bit of clearance for the pop rivets, of course, on the inside. And I'll drill some screws in underneath just to give it that extra strength. I'm going to strengthen it more with some edging at the bottom to brace it, and also that's going to give me a surface to bolt it onto the platform. And so the hand workout begins again. Woohoo! Last corner done. So I've done most of the frame now. Now I just got to make some rails so I can easily put the battery in and out. So for the rails, I found some old aluminium screen frame, and I've cut that to size to suit my length and width of the frame. So now for the fridge stand, as you can see, I used some bookshelf brackets for the legs and added one there to give it extra support. And these little square box aluminium here is just for the prototype, just some scrap I had to get the right height. So now I'm going to use that as a template to neaten up with some angle. I'm going to bolt these legs onto the brackets here using existing holes. Found some nuts and bolts that fit here perfectly that were just that were in my random nut and bolt box. That was handy. Feels pretty solid. I've done all the legs. I just ran out of edging, so I had to use some black powder coated edging I had at the back, which works out okay because I've got to paint it all. I'm going to paint it all black anyway. So I'm in the tub now, in the canopy, and for my securing bracket I've used a bookshelf bracket, and I've drilled the required holes I need to bolt it onto my stand. And I've fitted it using the existing tie-down bolts without drilling any holes in the tub or the canopy. Like I said earlier, I did make a mistake. As you can see, the battery stand I had to move over a bit to the left, and therefore I had to add a little box section of aluminium in the corner to keep it level. But anyway, I've bolted it. I've bolted it onto the frame and it's primed. I've put 2 coats of matte black on it. And it's, as you can see, it's light. I can lift it with one hand, but it's still really strong. Easy to remove or install. Just slide it in. Bolt it down. So I'll show you a close-up of the it mounted to the bracket. Hasn't got any movement whatsoever with the weight, and also I've put a just a little tab here with a bit of rubber on the end, so if it does move, it's not going to rub against my lining. I got my battery pack in. It weighs a ton, but it was a lot easier than the prototype to put in. And I did mark it a little bit on there. But now I'll just slip in my rails, which should stop it from moving around. I just wanted to point out the fridge stand width and length. I made it a little bit bigger just to accommodate if I ever need to replace my fridge. And so to stop the fridge from sliding around, I've cut some ply to wedge in from behind and also on the side. The reason for me why I've gone to this design instead of a slide out fridge design is I wanted something light I could remove easily and have that option to still utilise the tray space for larger or longer items when I don't need it for camping or touring. If you're wondering why that front length isn't in the corner, it's so I can still fit lengthy items diagonally like my gazebo. And I've got room underneath for such things like my storage boxes. So there you have it, guys. I've now got side access to my fridge and battery pack. So as well as catering for my needs, this build only cost me 2 cans of paint. Still, if you had to buy some or all of the materials, it's a cost-effective and light option for a canopy with side access. I hope you liked my video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.